Good afternoon, everyone. I am Christiana Aristidou. I am a lawyer. My main work, let's say, my main profession is a technology lawyer, a transnational technology lawyer, which means that what exactly we do is like comparing the various jurisdictions, what they provide in terms of technology, and then we form the right structures. So this is my main job. But I do wear many hats, to be honest. And one of my hats is that I represent Cyprus in the International Standardization Organization as the head of the national delegation, as well as in the AI committees for Cyprus, both in the International Standardization Organization and also bodies in Europe, CEN, CENELEC, ETSI, etc. I have been closely working with the regulations with several teams in Europe prior to the formulation of the regulations. So, having said this, I want to welcome you on this panel, to this discussion. This will be a very interesting discussion, and because one of my hats is being a certified trainer for Cyprus and Europe for capacity building and vital programs, allow me, before I give the word to the speakers to introduce themselves, just to say that I want to lay the foundation for this discussion, for you to understand what we are talking about. So this is maybe one of the first ever discussions in Cyprus that combines a discussion of both blockchain, which is the tokenization side of things, and then the AI. So we will attempt, and the panel will attempt, to make a discussion that will demonstrate and make you understand how the two combine. So, having said this, I guess you all know what is Bitcoin. And I guess you all know, and if you don't know, you should know that Bitcoin was enabled by blockchain. So soon after we got Bitcoin, then we understood that it is blockchain that drives it. Then, when we understood how blockchain works, we established many different blockchains using many different ingredients from the recipe of blockchains. So during the years, during the evolution, we ended up having different chains. Chains means the infrastructure of blockchain. So what we ended up having is that we ended up having blockchains, chains that all of us can go on top of these chains and build tokens. So when we are allowed to build these tokens, since we are allowed to build these tokens, how do we do it? We code them. And what is this coding? We code in a token anything that makes sense, that anything that is legal, anything that you could ever imagine, but at the same time is aligned with regulations, standardization also, standards. So, having said this, you need to understand that nowadays, all of you can set up a project in the real estate sector, as we're discussing, and you can utilize blockchains which offer services as BaaS, blockchain as a service, or blockchain enterprise. You can go there and you can build there any project you like. So at the end of the day, you need to understand that Bitcoin and tokens is not exactly the same, because Bitcoin has a value in it, but tokens could have anything we decide as per our business plan. That is why I have today here with me an excellent panel. So I dug deep into their expertise. And then I came up with some questions I want to pose to them. But before I go into asking the first question from Sergey, I would like to give the word to you guys. Amari, would you like to introduce yourself in 30 minutes, 45 minutes, so we don't lose more time?
Most definitely. Can everybody hear me clearly? Perfect, perfect. Well, firstly, I want to give a round of applause to Christiana because the introduction was amazing about the blockchain space. Honestly, if I was a newbie to the space, straight away I would know exactly what's going on, just based on the way you explained it so perfectly.
Thank you. So coming from you, thank you very much.
Appreciate for that. So hi everybody, my name's Amari. I'm the proud founder and CEO of a capital group called Lewis Simpson Partners Capital Group. Currently, we have over 250 million allocated into our fund specifically. We cover the infrastructure space, so it could be commodities, agriculture, real estate, renewable energy. But how I first got into this space was I actually raised a significant amount of capital for my startup, which was actually on the blockchain where we focus on ticketing. So this is like a very, it's a memorable moment for me to sit here and be on this panel because I can't wait to explain the nitty-gritty parts of how you can actually go from a concept to enable something in a real world use case through the blockchain. So yeah, that's my introduction.
Hello everyone. I think the intro was very inspiring. I'm Sergey, CEO and founder of Alma. We're a tech company with 1 million square meter of real estate and platform, working in Europe, Cyprus, Emirates, and Hong Kong. And we're managing the full stack from operational on the ground through tokenization engine. And now we're obtaining a license in the UAE for tokenized fund management. And I think there's a lot of hype over the term tokenization. And the worst thing, or like the most popular, is once you tokenize something, millions of crypto guys will come and buy your asset. I think that's something we should talk about today.
Yes, I will ask you about it.
That's like just another huge opportunity to make the real estate asset management or investment just more efficient in a technology way. And that's the topic we are working on.
Thank you very much.
I'm also Sergey.
Yeah, we have two Sergeys in the middle sitting.
Yeah. First of all, you guys all here quite brave innovators as you came for the tokenization and smart living panel, expecting something about AI and so on. Yes, this is hype on one hand, but on the other hand, so actually the adoption is very, very slow. My company is Placy AI. This is a Cypriot startup. This is Placy AI, real estate sales assistant. Technically, is an active AI agent. Placy sits on the reception of a real estate firm. She is connected to CRM, to WhatsApp business account, to phone number, and she behaves like a normal individual receptionist, real estate agent in the company. So we deployed it. So 2 years old startup. We have 100 clients here in Cyprus, in Greece, in Spain, and we've already collected quite interesting experience that I can share with you. My experience is less about tokenization, more about how we can implement AI in our real estate business activities for real estate agencies, developers, property management.
Thank you, Sergey. Alex.
I'm Alexander. I represent To The Moon cryptocurrency exchange. We're based here in Limassol. Today, I am a crypto part of this discussion. We don't have any experience with tokenized real estate assets on our platform yet. I hope we will have them soon. But we already have experience when a client purchase a real estate by using a crypto, and we've been an intermediary between a purchaser and the developer.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much. Sergey, I will start from you. So when we say we buy real estate token, what do we actually buy? What do we mean when we say that?
Actually, that's, I think, a fundamental question. I'm happy you are asking this. And just to make one step back, like what's in simple words, what's a token? And if we think of this as just a digital representation on blockchain of an asset, that becomes more clear because assets might be different. And in real estate world, you're basically are talking about 3 different ways. The first type is the obvious one is the real estate itself. So technically, you can transfer your title deed issuance on blockchain. I don't think it's happening in Europe quite often because you have to get your regulators or your tech stack of the land registry aligned with you. And that's just happening as pilot projects in a few countries. Actually, it started kind of randomly in Georgia a few years ago. And now there are in Dubai a few projects where Dubai Land Department is issuing title deeds within minutes after you make a transaction on blockchain. And that's quite insane, especially if you are asking how much time does it take here to get a title deed after a purchase. And that's the revolution. That's the revolutionary part. The second type of asset, which can be tokenized or in like more practical way, is a digital representation of economic rights. Or basically, I'm a real estate developer. I would like to tokenize my asset in a way that there is a company which holds an asset, it issues a bond, and it's tokenizing a bond, basically financial security. And this security being tokenized can be traded and enjoy the experience of the blockchain networks. And the third type of asset, I would say, is the tokenized SPV itself or tokenized fund, where basically a token represents a fund unit or SPV shares, and that can be traded according to the local legislation accordingly on the exchanges which are ready to do so. Since the regulatory part is not unified globally, but we're moving quite fast with this, the legal structure is already there, the technology is already there, it's just the adoption which is happening right now in front of us.
Is the infrastructure there?
It depends on what kind of infrastructure you're talking about. The tech infrastructure is there. It was there a few years ago. The legal infrastructure is coming. And the missing part is the infrastructure of the regulators here on the ground. If you would like to have a record of ownership in the land registry, they need to do some homework from the tech part to get along. That's why it will come, I would say, the latest, but the rest of it is there. There's a big part of the infrastructure to bring liquidity into this market, which is, I would say, under development right now, under pretty active development right now, but it's definitely coming.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Amari,
Yes.
how well do investors actually understand what they are buying in a tokenized real estate?
So let's get a bit interactive. So who owns a house in here? Raise your hand. Okay. Who would like to own more houses in here? Raise your hand. Okay. So this is a prime example of the way that I explain to investors how fractionalization of real estate can be enabled into the ecosystem of property, real estate, whatever it may be. Because if everybody in here had a portion of one property, they would have more properties. And then that would enable them to grow their portfolio and then look in different territories where it could be commercial, it could be industrial, it could be on a rent-to-rent basis. It really does depend. But from a standpoint of do investors understand what tokenized real estate looks like? Not exactly. Because the traditional frameworks, they actually work perfectly well. So why would you change it? But I think as time continues to grow and innovation takes place, for example, once upon a time, everybody's riding horses, then cars. Now we're gonna go into spaceships. So the fact of the matter is, you have to be able to convince the person to understand the benefits of it, because most great investors, they invest in things early on. They find a market, they dominate that market, they see the specifics of the pros and cons, and then they align it with their vision. And I think in real estate, if you're looking to grow in that sector, then definitely fractionalization of real estate and tokenization of it overall is something everybody should look into, because without a doubt, it's going to happen. This is the reasons why we're here having this conversation now.
Exactly.
So I'd advise everyone to look into it. But the best places to look for myself is very Gen Z of me, but I'll go on TikTok. So if you're looking for information, use social media, leverage off of it. You can go onto YouTube. There's people that are specialized in these specific areas where they can advise you and direct you with the best ways to do things. Or you can reach out to someone like myself or these people on the panel on LinkedIn. I think first and foremost, before you get into this space, you have to educate yourself, because a lot of faults can be made. There could be a lot of systems where, for example, a project where, they say they're going to fractionalize an asset and this is the current value of it, but it may not be the case. So it's always good to make sure you're doing your due diligence accordingly. And that also comes down to having an expertise. So reach out to a crypto lawyer, reach out to an expert within that space and have those conversations before you decide to dive into that area. Hopefully that kind of answers.
Thank you, awesome. Thank you very much. Alex, from a market infrastructure perspective, what risks arise when tokenized real estate lacks clear legal or structural foundations?
For me, the biggest risk is uncertainty, because when you purchase a tokenized real estate asset-backed tokens, you don't know what exactly you purchase from a real legal perspective. For example, investor can assume that they will be eligible to receive rent payments, or they own a part of this real estate. But it's only a contract between an emittent of token and a purchaser, and the rights could be limited, and it's mainly only a trust in the project. Today, there is no legislations appropriate to track everything in blockchain. There will be a risk of transfer. For example, you have tokens in blockchains, you sell it to your friend and you transfer them. But with this transfer, there is no transfer of real rights, because real rights are controlled by a local law and ledgers. It's not a transaction in blockchain.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much, Alex. Moving now to data and intelligence, and I go back to Sergey Ivanov. Why has tokenized real estate not scaled as quickly as other real world assets?
I like your questions. Even though real world assets, RWAs, are being tokenized pretty steadily, it's like 30 billion is the global capital market right now. It's 4x year over year. Tokenized real estate is about 300 mil, which is 1%. So if you think of this, the biggest asset class of the world is less than 1% of the tokenized RWAs. Why? I think if we're going behind fancy words, technology things, the first question is why to tokenize? Why not just to buy real estate? And for the asset managers or asset holders, and for investors, why to buy? The answer is liquidity. Real estate developer or real estate asset owner would like to get access to global liquidity to sell their assets. That's the pure reason why they're doing so. For the investors, for global investors from different parts of the world, they would like to get access to the top, to the best assets in the world. And if you would like to buy a property here in Cyprus, market is booming, IT companies here are coming here, pushing their rents out, prices up, and somewhere from whatever it is willing to buy a property here, it's not so easy. Yeah. From legal point of view, from money transfer point of view, from technical point of view. So tokenization, in the ideal case, if the legal structure is there, if the technical structure is there, just helps to help you to get the transaction actually on the spot if everything is set right.
So having said this, how important is reliable, continuously updated property? Because I know what you're going to say. Property data, such as rent flows, such as occupancy, the valuation inputs, etc.
That's where I'm getting to. The reason why tokenized real estate is not growing so fast, because if even you tokenize your asset, your valuation, your NAV updates will still happen off-chain on quarterly PDFs. And market just doesn't see what's behind your asset. And if the market doesn't see what's behind your asset, the seller and the buyer cannot agree on the real price at the same time, and the market stays illiquid. That's why the data layer around it should be built first for the market to become liquid.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I go to the other Sergey now. So where is AI already creating tangible value in real estate today? And where are current limitations due to fragmented or poor quality data?
So at that moment, we jumped to a completely different topic from tokenization.
Yes.
Tokenization right now is kind of a dream, the great idea for the future. And I believe so. It might be good. So we talk a lot about the legal constraints, how to improve the system. We need to tokenize the register and so on and so forth. Blockchain records. I believe, yeah, the liquidity is the main problem. So in case, as a private investor, I want to sell. So why I would buy tokenized real estate? Because this is a small piece, not millions. I can buy for $50,000 a piece of real estate, and I want to sell it immediately at any cash, right? So liquidity is a great point. So I believe that legal structure can be improved quite easily. So as Sergey said, a number of countries already implemented that, so it's doable. But I have no idea about, can we sell those tokens on the crypto exchange? Anyone knows something like Bazaraki to sell and buy that tokens on real estate? So maybe some of you great startuppers, this is a great point, great idea to build a startup, the marketplace for tokenized real estate. And after that, we can really speak how to implement it and how to sell it about the future. But okay, let's go to the next topic, AI, real estate. Frankly, real estate is a very, very conservative industry. So everything is very slow in real estate. And I would say that, just maybe 10 years ago, majority of realtors used just phone calls and SMSs, switching to WhatsApp. 2 years ago, the realtors who already started using free version of ChatGPT were real innovators. This year, I would say that a broker who uses paid version of ChatGPT is a great innovator. So, however, in other industries, people use active AI agents already. So the future of brokers in 1-2 years, that's not just to ask ChatGPT to clean the photos and to help to polish the text for listings on Bazaraki. It's the future that's agents, Actually, even today, it's easy. You could install Claude Cowork on your computer and launch, just clicking, not engineering skills, kind of the vibe coding. And you could create several AI agents that could help you to sell and buy property, to publish listing across Bazaraki with your login password, doing everything in your Chrome browser on behalf of you. No, really, so it's not a future. Everyone could do it right now, and the cost is like kind of the $20-50 per month, kind of this one with the basic.
Is this what Placey AI focuses
That's exactly.
on?
So as I mentioned, Placey is the active agent actually. Technically, Placey is connected to CRM, to WhatsApp business account, to phone number, and she can actually do everything, white label for your company. But the real value, but this is again, it's something about future. But what is the, let's say, the basic program for any real estate firm right now? It's yes, something like Placey, because 80% of typical realtors' work can be automated. It's like a call center job. Just answer some calls and copy-paste some messages and text from one window to another window. Robots can do it easily. And also, I think that's the second great point, which is today should be done. It's property valuation. Because so every landlord, every owner wants to sell it sometimes twice more.
That is why I previously talked about data, because tokenization needs high quality data, but also AI needs high quality data.
And this is the connection between tokenization and smart living actually. The bridge here. The property valuation is exactly that bridge. Property valuation exists centuries, right? Esquire, Pavlos, for example, his father and his grandfather were property valuers with the big paper formats, calculating something and saying, oh, this plot can be sold for $1 million. Right now, Esquire, the great large data platform, right? In seconds, you could get the real clear answer, how much it cost. And when we have the direct input, when we see the very clear data-based information about the cost, about pricing, how much you could sell, how much does it cost with all the changes around this property, it can influence on your tokenized value. And so you could sell it more expensive or less expensive, and everything can be automated on this circle. But again, in the close future.
But these people here would like to know, what do you define as smart living? What is smart living?
Look, talk about smart, just in my humble view.
In real estate, smart living, what it means
Exactly.
to live
So,
smartly.
see, when we said smart home historically, developers usually say, we connect 100 devices in this house. Oh, that means it's very smart. 100 devices is connected, or 200 devices, Internet of Things connected. And the owner is actually today an operator of all the devices with the mobile app, trying to understand temperature down, the water leakage somewhere here, and the electricity consumption and so on. And this is past. But in the future, we have to kill it. AI kills all that stuff. AI controls everything, and our KPI, not how many devices you connected in the house. Your KPI, nobody should even notice that this house is smart and it is connected. AI should handle everything. And the amount of tickets from the people who live in the house should be less and less and less, and nobody even control all that air conditioner, electricity and all that stuff. And again, this is a very clear connection with tokenization.
Yes.
Because when AI handles everything in your newly built house, we know all the data, we know the water consumption. So in case the electricity and water consumption is lower here, the cost of this property, tokenized, might be higher automatically again.
Yes. Yes, thank you very much. I will jump to Amari now.
Yeah.
Amari, how do you view the opportunity for fractional ownership, and what safeguards are needed to ensure the protection of the investors?
Okay, well, I'll work a bit backwards. I'll cover the safeguarding stuff first. Well, the smart contracts you need to make sure the smart contracts are produced correctly. So the top-end developers need to make sure that they align with a legal team in the Web2 space, which can be a lawyer from, whichever law firm you assign to the task. And the SPV, which will be the special purpose vehicle, is structured in a way that is perfectly aligned to the smart contract. So the digital version is identical to the physical version. So when you decide to look at both of them, it's exactly the same. There's no complications. I'll give you guys a great example. So the other day, I actually met with the CEO of DMP Homes. Funny enough, he's actually here in the crowd now. He's building an amazing facility called St. Nicholas, which is based in Paphos, if I'm correct. So their main focus is to fractionalize assets and tokenize everything from schools. It could be to the shops. It could be based on, the villas that are being built and all the other external things. And one thing that really struck my interest is that this is an opportunity for people that wouldn't be able to own specific things to have ownership. Like, since when can anybody raise their hands here and say they have fractionalized ownership of, a corner shop? When would you ever think about purchasing a corner shop? Never. But if the price of it was for £1,000 rather than it being for £10,000, would you not inject your capital into that? Raise your hand if you would, because I definitely would. There we go. We all like to make money here. I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah. And then also on another note, I wanted to also highlight is I come from a space of Web3 traditionally. So I done something which was similar to this, but it was ticketing. So they're very similar. So one thing of them is proof of ownership. The other part of it is stopping violations on the secondary market. So for instance, people will always exaggerate prices of real estate, no matter where you go. They'll always exaggerate prices of any asset that they specifically value. You can look at loads of different markets. But if it is broken down into a tokenized form, then that format, you can track it. You can see you can see the price of it from 2021 all the way up until 2026, 2030. And you can then, with the right amount of understanding, you can then see where the inflation has taken place. And then you can basically dictate and determine the pricing. I think that's a very clever maneuver as well. If based upon the way the asset is tokenized, the people and the public should be able to decide what the value of the asset is, because you are the community, you are the people, so you would know far more than anybody else within the market. And these are the opportunities that tokenization of real estate brings you. But I'd probably say the main thing as of now that really does excite me for this space is the fact that this is something that is going to forever grow. And even now, it's very early stages and not many people understand it. Even myself, even though I've been experienced in this space and I've actually generated a significant amount of wealth from this specific space, I can still learn. And once again, it's going to continue to keep innovating. There's going to be continuous changes. People are going to come with new ideas. There'll be new layers being built like AI. You guys tell me, when did everybody first hear about artificial intelligence? It was actually called something else before. What was the name of AI previously before? These are the tech wizards. Do you guys know? A cognitive science or something like that? I'm not sure. But there was a whole different terminology for it. And as you can see, that's continuing to grow. And AI is not something that's new, by the way. People have been able to use it for decades. But the only difference is it's only been recognized now to the public. So then what's going to happen with all of the other different stages and phases that take place? So it's actually just the unknown as of now. But it's working and it will continue to work and opportunities will continue to arise. It just depends on who decides to take it, who decides to actually be the innovator in the space and make the decision and say, the project that I'm building, I'm going to tokenize it and let's see how it goes. Because there's the right people around you to assist you.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. Very good elaboration on the subject. So, Alex, I will pose 2 questions to you now. What is required to achieve real liquidity in tokenized real estate markets? The first one.
Yeah. If project mint a tokens and starts selling it on their platform, there will be only a technical liquidity, not a real one. Because if you can only purchase a token and can't sell it, there is no secondary market for it. It means it's not tradable. To achieve a real liquidity, there should be a sufficient number of participants on the market. It should be buyers, sellers, and also a professional brokers. It should be listed on a variety of exchanges. It requires a professional market makers to participate in it and create trades and liquidity 24/7.
Institutional adoption is very important too. So what are the key conditions for institutional adoption in this space?
The key condition, I think, the most important, like a tokenized equity should give extra benefits rather than a traditional investments in a real estate. It could be a better valuation, it could be fast entrance in a deal and the fast exit. And also there should be institutional graded trusted custody, because institutional investors are not likely to store a secret seed phrase on their laptop.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have one question for all of you now. So I will pose the question and then I will ask you to elaborate on the question from your own perspective and your own expertise and your own experience in your field. The question is, what would Cyprus need in order to position itself as a credible hub for real estate tokenization and smart real estate innovation? Going to Sergey, I would like you to elaborate on this question from a PropTech and data perspective. Ivanov.
I think my answer is a little bit of time. Cyprus already has its tech hub, it has capital, it has government which is trying its best to improve its position in the tech area. You have the players in the arena who are trying to make a difference, and you have the people here who are open to new things. So I would say it's just a little bit of time and it will come.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. That's a good position. Sergey, from a PropTech, from an AI and smart living perspective.
Yeah. I believe Cyprus is the best European jurisdiction for all the IT startups already. So we have the brilliant future in all the meanings. Talking about AI, AI hits the wall when we need data. So data is a new mode, the new competitive advantage for everyone, for the property companies as well. We used to think about real estate agency as something very in a good distance from technology and so on. But now you have the ability, you have a chance to convert the business in the technological business. Just start using your freaking CRMs. And this is the initial data that we can use in AI. Mm-hmm. So you could launch any AI agents, any AI sales assistants, any AI agents that create listings on Bazaraki, answering your calls, doing literally almost everything. But you need to start from your CRMs. Just start making records on your freaking CRMs. And this is the huge, bold move to the future of any technologies for Cyprus, I believe.
So should we be building real estate data centers, platforms
no, it's enough to start,
on blockchains?
No, we don't need blockchain. So
because this is my opinion. We should be building real estate data centers on blockchains, on blockchains databases.
Our land registry already announced the project with the blockchain records land registry. So this is the great bold step towards our commercial projects here. But again, see, why I'm talking about CRMs? Because the majority, all the property data, listings, contacts, everything actually usually stored in CRMs, right?
Yeah.
In property management, developers, real estate agencies, all that. And they really don't use it. They really don't make those records. Okay. And this is the main problem. So tokenization is something about the space and flights to Mars. CRMs, this is our current problem. So that's why I proposed just...
Thank you very much. Thank you. I understand. I have only 3 minutes to pose the 2 questions to Alex and Amari, and I want to be fair. Sergey, I'm sorry I interrupted you. So, from a digital asset infrastructure perspective, same question to you, goes to you, Alex. What would Cyprus need in order to position itself as a credible hub for real estate tokenization and smart real estate innovation from a digital asset infrastructure perspective?
I think there should be a clear regulation. Cyprus are already working on it. As all of you know, right now there is a global European crypto regulation, MICA, which is called MiCA. I think if they add extra clarity about a tokenized real estate assets, it could boost an interest in such tokens, because at present such tokens are treated as a security tokens. That means that the majority of exchanges can't list them on the platforms. If they, I don't know, position maybe it as a stable tokens, maybe it will be easier to list it to exchanges, because like in traditional investments, investment in real estate is considered as a safe haven. Maybe they can also think it's a part of a stable coins. And for example, during a crypto winter, when everyone sold their Bitcoins and tried to save their funds in USDT, USDC, I think in this case, real estate token will be a great opportunity.
Thank you very much, Alex. Now, last one is Amari. So again, same question. From an investment and capital perspective, what would Cyprus need in order to position itself as a credible hub for real estate tokenization and smart real estate innovation from an investment and capital perspective?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, you have to convince the leaders, so the people that are moving the pieces, that this is important. And then after that, it would make sense if there was like some form of, I don't know, like initiative that would inspire more entrepreneurs to move to Cyprus that actually understand like the tech space. It might be like a tech initiative in Web3 or tokenization of real estate. And then those individuals would usually be the ones that would then put the money into these specific projects, because instead of you having to change the mind frames of people that think the traditional frameworks are already perfect, bring other people in that can showcase that innovation that makes sense, to then encourage the other people that don't want to do it to say, that actually looks really good, let me try it. And then instead of them having to search everywhere to find that person, it's generally the individual that's right in front of them. So I think, it starts from the top, and then you create an initiative for investors to come in to then be inspired, and then those individuals will then deploy capital. 100%, because Cyprus is a beautiful place, so if it makes sense.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you, panelists, DRS panelists. Thank you to you for your time, and thank you to Realty on Expo for this incredible opportunity that they gave us to have this conversation. Thank you.